I wish people would stop telling me that I couldn't mountain climb to a base camp.
Mayo experience.
Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience presented by Underdog. Code Mayo to get a $1,000 up to deposit bonus at Underdog right now. Three things before we start. One, subscribe to the Mayo Media newsletter if you want first crack at the live CUST Corner tickets that go on sale very soon, or maybe now, if you're already watching this later than the actual post date. It's June 7th in Toronto, 2025. In case you're watching this years later, you smash a like and sub to the channel. We're very close to 50,000 subs. Please help us out that way. And Custy Awards voting is closing soon, but they're still open as of this publish. So hit the description, go vote in the Custies if you haven't as of yet, and maybe you'll get some inspirational ideas because this is the 51st version of CUST Corner.
CUST Corner, it's CUST Corner. CUST Corner, it's CUST Corner. He's got the hottest takes with the highest stakes. He should be president of the United States, but it's CUST Corner, it's CUST Corner. CUST Corner,
Something.
Ozempic.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I mean, I had other things that I feel like I haven't gotten my credit for that I was going to talk about, but we can leave that aside because that would be too indulgent. Maybe I'll talk about it on the next
You
show.
tweet a list at least later, like things I deserved credit for.
No,
that I
well,
haven't-
that would be bad SEO. It's better to let people know that I may talk about it later. Something I've rediscovered in the last couple of weeks, and I forgot how great it is ground turkey. And I don't understand why I ever bought ground beef to begin with for anything other than hamburgers. And even then, ground turkey is so good because you can add all the spices you want to it to get it to be the flavor you want. And it's so much healthier for you. And it's so versatile. And it does everything that you need ground beef to do with less fat, fewer calories. And you can just go hog wild on the spices if you want to get it to where you need. I have fallen in love again with ground turkey. And I don't know when I would buy a package of ground beef again because this stuff is just fantastic. And it makes less oil and grease and it's less dirty like to cook with. It's just everything about it is so great. I love ground turkey.
I'm with you. I eat ground turkey all the time. But that doesn't mean I also don't eat ground beef. The sneaky thing is ground beef just tastes better.
No, I don't know. No,
does.
because you can spice up the ground turkey in such a way that it's indistinguishable, more or less.
I don't know about that.
And it's the spices that I want to taste anyway.
I don't understand. I mean, I don't ground turkey's lovely. It's fine, but to
It's so good. Like people,
Yeah, it's
I'm
good.
doing a public service, sort of, I guess, little piggybacking off of weight loss stuff, perhaps. Switch to ground turkey.
Have you really dug into like weight loss stuff here?
The algorithm on my TikTok these days is so focused on weight loss stuff. That's like every other video on the TikTok I get now are like weight loss regimes, cooking tips. I'm telling you,
that's what you get for being an Andrew Tate fan, Tim.
I most certainly am not. Maybe that's what you and your 4chan buddies joke about, but that's not what we do over here. Ground turkey, ground chicken, that's the wave of the future. It's so good. It's so filling. Like I made spaghetti sauce the other night with ground turkey rather than ground beef. It was just as good, just as delicious.
And I just
far fewer calories.
like the wave of the future. I feel like moms have been
It's not new. It's not brand new, but yeah,
like
it's been reintroduced
we've all
into
got
my life.
moms that I feel like have been making once in a while make turkey burgers instead of the red ones and try to tell us it's all the same. I agree. It's good to get it in there once in a while. I'm not getting rid of my ground beef though. I'm not getting
Get rid of it. Make tacos with ground turkey instead of ground beef.
That's the thing. There are certain things that ground beef is just better for. Tacos being
taco
number
sauce
one on that
holds
list.
Taco sauce, the spice holds just as well to the ground turkey, if not better. It coats it. It's delicious. You don't need it. It's all the. I mean, you're pro more calories, I guess. I'm pro fewer calories.
Stop.
I mean, I'm pretty pro.
I'm just saying that.
I'm pretty pro taste. And granted, I do eat ground turkey. Ground turkey for me is like a filler type food. So if I'll make a bunch, I'll put it in some Tupperware, I'll put it into the fridge, and then, hey, if I need a quick meal, I'll make a little bit of rice and then put the ground turkey in with it, cut up some vegetables, be on my way.
Yes.
But that is me being like, hey, I need fuel right now. Let me fuel up. If I actually want to enjoy something, I'd rather eat ground beef.
No, I think the ground turkey does everything or sufficiently enough that the ground beef does that, like, unless you're making a hamburger or something, save the beef for the steaks and the roasts. And if you're going to get minced meat, get ground turkey or ground chicken. You won't regret it.
Well, here's the sneaky thing, Jeff. In tacos, chorizo is better than ground beef, which is even worse for you. Like the more
I say chorizo is just fatty and
it's delicious.
Sausage. I mean, like ground sausage is better in spaghetti sauce than ground beef, but that doesn't mean it's not the healthy choice. Go with the ground turkey. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. You'll love it.
Now, Jeff, I eat a lot of turkey. I just find it to be incredibly bland after time.
Well, you're not spicing it enough. That's on you for insufficiently seasoning your food.
Tell me what spices you're putting on turkey.
Cumin, onion powder, garlic powder, chili powder. Those are my principal ones.
Why don't you just eat a bowl of spice then? That seems like the only taste that you want. Just get Homer. Get a rice patty. Spice it all up if that's all you're tasting anyway.
These spices are calorie free, and they're delicious.
I would say you've really let people down here, Tim.
Oh, I've let people down, have I, Jeff? Oh,
yeah, like if you're a big CUST CORNER fan, you love your CUST CORNER.
How dare I recommend? Well, to be fair, I sort of already gave them a corner like 10 minutes ago when you were too busy. When you were too busy calling Ozempic users cheaters. That's when you sort of had a corner.
I was saying less credit.
You analogized it to you copying your friend's notes and writing a paper for university.
Okay, let me change it. Who deserves more credit for the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, Mahomes or the backup quarterback?
Well, one
like
actually
Kelsey
played,
or
and
Watson.
one didn't.
Yeah, but they both get a
Noah
ring.
Gray or Kelsey. Like one guy worked harder. That's all.
That's a better analogy.
I will take my free credit one day.
Yeah, you'll take your Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, I look forward to it, dude.
And yet, if I stand in line at the fast food place to get my meal and someone else does it on their phone, I don't deserve any extra credit from you folks for putting an extra effort in and going to McDonald's. I mean, you want a fun topic? Okay, here's a fun topic.
Show them the hat.
What?
The hat, Jeff. The hat.
I went to a NASCAR race. I got this sick hat. Only at a NASCAR race could you get like a McDonald's flat brim. So anybody won and the McDonald's car won the race. So that was freaking awesome. And Monster car.
Here's a fun idea. You want a fun idea? I think there should be a Nexus line style at fast food places for preferred customers.
So like based on how many points you have at McDonald's?
Stuff like that. That's exactly what I was thinking. There ought to be a Nexus style line for people like me.
It's called mobile ordering.
No, but that's equal to everybody. I'm talking about I should have a special line to get in that's just devoted to me. The way that like first class is devoted,
McDonald's moves fast,
like the Maple Leaf Lounge, but for me.
They really do at like Lunch Rush. They really do run like a fast operation. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I should be able to skip the line, and I should have they should come with perks. Like there should be early starts on promotions and late access to promotions. Monopoly should start 3 or 4 days early for me, and it should run 3 or 4 days later for me and people like me. Like we should have early access to the cups that are out right now, and we should have late access to. No, I'm not. You want something fun? I think there should be a Nexus line for preferred customers at fast food places, and they have other perks like early starts on promotions and late accesses.
So it's like it's like when you buy the fast pass at Disney, Jeff, but for McDonald's and Tim.
And for people who've actually put in the work. People like me who put in the work.
You want to beat the line like you just mobile order.
But not just beat the lines, like I should have my own line. Those of us who are preferred customers should have our own line. The same way in an airline treat their preferred status customers differently than they do those of us who buy a coach ticket. It's no different. That's the type of
here's the difference.
You have to pay for that.
The one person is paying $1,500 for a seat.
I've already paid that money by being the preferred customer. That's what makes me the preferred customer, is that I have paid over the longevity of the last 15 years.
I would say the special treatment the special treatment comes from like you go into that McDonald's that you go to all the time, and the lady knows you, and she can, she just takes a little extra care of you. But what do you beat the line at McDonald's?
Not just beat the line. I should have my own. There should be a line dedicated to preferred customers, to customers who have hit the threshold of so many purchases or so many visits.
What do you think this is? Like you get like a hotel, like when you're treated into the VIP check-in?
Yes, that is precisely what I want. Why can't I have that? Feel like I've earned it.
The
Feel
McDonald's,
like I've spent enough money.
You buy $1 coffees and $4 egg McMuffins. What are you talking about?
I do 2-a-days during Monopoly. What are you talking about?
Do you think you'd have more success with McDonald's Monopoly if you wore that hat that Geoff has?
I think that's a great hat. It might be a lucky hat. I love that hat. I'm extremely jealous of that hat, and I would wear that hat everywhere.
I might have to give it to you.
It's just like I love the Tour Championship watching on TV because all the caddies have those bibs on that say Coca-Cola on. I think it just looks really cool to have a bib that says Coca-Cola.
The T markers are great.
They are fantastic.
Yeah, those are good. Those are good. I think you're so main character to think that.
So you want a fun category, and I give you a fun category because God forbid I recommend to people that they eat healthy, and here's some good ways to do it. And then as soon as I give a fun and interesting idea, you're like, oh, well, that's terrible.
No, I didn't say it's terrible or this hasn't been a good conversation. But yeah, firstly, I will say, like the first football show of the year, it's kind of like the season premiere, and you lay out like ground turkey meat, like it's good for
November.
you. Like,
This ain't
okay.
November sweeps.
Looks like Ozempic's been a great success for them. Like he looks like half the man he used to be, at least in those Hard Knocks episodes. That
Can
we
I
saw
just
this
say?
offseason.
Can I just make the point that the way people throw around the word Ozempic is to completely delegitimize somebody's weight loss. It's like it didn't really happen, or it doesn't count, or you don't deserve any of the kudos, or any of the, as if you've done something like you're like Mickey wearing the lifts in his shoes on Seinfeld. Like you've broken a fat guy code by taking Ozempic to lose weight. And I'm a fat guy, and Jeff's a fat guy, and look, there's nothing wrong if that's what somebody wants to do and they've lost weight. I don't look down on them by saying, "Oh, look, that person took Ozempic." Like,
hold on.
I do not look down on those people. That's perfectly fine.
Hold on. I didn't hear anything from what Geoff said that he was looking
that set me
down
off because
on it. It sounds like you're projecting
tone.
onto this.
It's the tone of voice, and Geoff knows it because he's
No,
heard
he
other
looks
people.
good.
People use that phrase. Oh, so and so took, as if like they did a short circuit, and we best not give them their props for losing weight the way we would if they had done it the old-fashioned way through exercise and dieting, as if one is somehow more moral than the other. There seems to be that connotation these days around Ozempic, and I just want to say that that's BS.
Well,
Okay.
I would spin it back the other way. I think when Geoff says like Ozempic worked, it's the immediate amount of weight loss so quickly, I think, is what points you to Ozempic, right, Geoff?
Yeah, and also, listen, I got a buddy who's taking it to like almost as a joke because he still drinks and eats so much. He's just like, yeah, I want to maintain my current level. And honestly, Tim, I don't know, like in this direction, I'll take if Ozempic is like all these guinea pigs on Ozempic, let them perfect this thing for a couple years. I look forward to starting a potential journey. Who knows?
The ads during the Olympics sold me. I was like, I'm sold. I need to try it.
I do like that Ozempic has become like Kleenex, that it is the catch-all for that drug. It was great marketing on their part.
It's great marketing on their part.
So,
but anyway,
yeah, you got really offended by that.
Well, I don't see somebody losing weight on Ozempic as like somehow less of an accomplishment than like in another.
I don't either. But we're on the other side.
We're on the other side, but I don't cast any aspersions in a way that I think some people may say, oh, well, that's the person just lost all the
Okay,
way
but I
through.
didn't know. Like, if someone had a hair transplant, would you be like, look at that guy?
Yeah, see,
Compared to what?
I think
Growing their hair back naturally? Like that doesn't work because that doesn't happen.
you can wear a
Yeah,
toupee.
I guess.
I've encouraged our friend Tim
I
Butts to
could
wear a
see-
toupee for years.
I could totally, I could totally respect, even though like I don't care. Like, look at me. I was happy to, let me see your notes at university so I can cram off your great notes. Like, I don't mind if there's an easy way out to losing weight. I would take it at some point, I believe. But I could also get why the Jim Hardo nutrition nut or
No,
someone
but
who lost.
I don't want anyone
100
taking away
pounds,
credit.
or
You know,
someone who lost, or someone who did it like truly just working their ass off and being disciplined. Like, I could see why they'd be like, that guy, man, but I don't care. It has no bearing on me. Like, they could think that. Like, it wouldn't. I don't give a shit.
I don't think one form deserves more credit than any other.
Paul
Of
wants to
course,
weigh in
one
on this.
form deserves more credit.
Doing it
kidding
naturally
me?
and sustainably, you definitely deserve more credit. Both are
What are you
good,
kidding?
but
That's
one is
crazy.
better.
No,
That's
no, I don't
crazy.
agree. I don't agree. I don't think there's levels
What do
of
you
credit
mean?
here.
I copy your note. I sit beside you. I copy your
That's not
answers
the
on
same.
the test.
That analogy that falls apart quickly, Jeffrey.
Why?
It's not the same thing.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
These are just different methods to achieving
I take
natural weight
your
loss.
essay and I paraphrase the whole fucking thing perfectly.
So-
I
so
get the
you-
same
so-
grade as you. We get the credit
So
together.
now, based on your analogy, if we take what you've just analogized seriously, Ozempic is cheating, and not
No,
Ozempic is
it's
not
an
cheating
easy way
because what
out.
you did at university, by the sounds of it, was cheating. So by your own argument, you've decided that Ozempic is cheating, and you're now amongst the chorus of people who don't want to give people any due credit because they might have used Ozempic. Well, God bless those people if they wanted to use it. I don't look down on them, and I give them full credit.
I like my wardrobe too much to like lose too much weight. I just
Where
like,
would you find other Charger sidelines gear? Like that must be so
I
difficult
would
to
just
acquire.
not want to like. I'd rather keep in like the extra large category than ever have to go into like double.
This is such a first world problem.
Yeah, so what? We got first world problems, but
Yeah,
you
we're
thinking
not
that
we're not doing this show in Estonia, Tim.
I can't believe you think it's worth the same for someone to literally keep their mouth shut, put all those hours in at the gym, not eat any sugar or carbs, and then someone that's like, jabbing themselves and they get to the same. Like, all credit to the jab, but it's
No,
not. It's
apparently
not
not.
worth the same.
Apparently
credit.
not all credit.
You're a man
Apparently
of
not.
credit. You're a man of credit,
And I
these
don't
are
want
not
people
equal
denied their credit. I don't want
They're
people
not
denied
equal
their credit. Yeah,
This is like taking the golf cart for 4 holes on the back 9 and bragging you walked. Like, no, I
that
was
would be a
tired.
lot.
I walked a
That would
few
be a-
holes, but like
right.
my buddy was in a cart and there was an empty seat, so I got in it every time I got a little too tired.
I don't buy
Every
this.
time there was an uphill, I said, "Let me take a seat in the cart."
I'm actually more on Tim's side with this, Jeff.
Well, okay. No, that's fine. I don't think that's wrong. That means like one day I can get I'll get credit too. One
And
day.
me sometime too, yeah.
Yeah, listen, if you guys do it, that's great. Eventually, you're probably going to come off of it, and then that's when the hard part begins. And that's why I think
Maybe.
that, like, if you lost it naturally, you'd be more conditioned to keep it off after coming off of it. That would be my fear of it, at least from, like, my perspective. Paul.
But that's why I don't consider even getting on it until we're at like model 3 of what they're doing now. Like, anyone who's on it now to me is still a bit of a guinea pig.
I'm willing to be the early adopter.
I don't want to be part of the guinea pig. I don't care. I didn't need Hot Boy Summer. I'm cool. I don't need that. But like once they get this better and perfect it is probably a too strong a word. But once they like keep improving on it, that's like stage 3 or something. That's when I'll jump on, I think. Sure.
Paul?
I'm incredibly nervous for everybody that's on it now that Tim is on it. That Tim is all about it.
Oh, are you
'Cause,
hiding it
like-
from us, Tim? If you were
No,
on
no,
it, you would tell us?
I have
No,
not
but he's-
started it.
He's
No.
put all of his support behind it and wants credit for when he does take it. So I worry about health implications that are going to come out in this next calendar year. It'll all be Tim's fault if Ozempic causes major problems.
So everyone's under on the Giants?
Heat
Apparently, it's the worst thing in the world to say that a band is incredibly overrated and that their quote unquote comeback tour is very unimpressive to me. Apparently, it's completely unacceptable to say. A few of you people online have been supportive of me, but like the fact of the matter is that I'm not excited for Oasis to get back. I almost have to probably explain to people on this podcast who Oasis is because they haven't been a band for 15 years. So if you're under the age of 40, there's a decent chance you've never heard of them. But they're an English band who apparently are so amazing. You haven't seen them in concerts, so you haven't really heard them. Like that is a terrible argument for a band because 99% of people are going to consume the music through the album, through the recording. So if they're only really amazing in person, that's a problem. And no, I'm not excited for them to get back together. I'm not excited for to know that they're traveling. Their music's not that good to begin with, and I'm allowed to think that. I'm sorry, this is not the second coming of Beethoven.
Why do you think you can't hold this opinion?
Well, I said it today, and people were like, "Oh, well, you clearly wrapped up the 2024 title." And, how dare you criticize Oasis the day that they've finally got back together? Like, oh, what a terrible thing I've done to say. I think this band is incredibly overrated. Thankfully, some people like the tour junkies were on my side, but very few people were.
The tour junkies who made a full stop when they started impersonating Tupac, Jeff?
I like those guys. All love, big fan. But like the tour junkies are on my side. This is like, man, you put any air in Tim's tires, he will retweet you. That's quite clear. I don't know. I don't support Tim knocking Oasis. People love Oasis. I enjoy Oasis. Some hardcore, no, but they're a pop culture phenomenon on top of everything. I don't know why you need to shit on the parade when they get back together and people are happy about it.
What are people happy about? Oh, that this band that's apparently only good in person is getting back together after 15 years? If they cared about their fans so much, why were they apart for 15 years?
Well, they don't.
Well, that's part of the mystique.
Then they don't care. Then why are you excited? You see,
I'm actually excited. I'm excited to go see them. They're one of the few acts that I haven't seen that I would want to go see.
Ugh. Like I said on Twitter, if they were playing on my patio here, I'd close the curtains.
Ridiculous. Like that's bullshit. You'd close the curtains.
And I don't like. Why would I want to go listen to subpar English music?
You don't have to like it to acknowledge that
that
other people
like it and it's popular.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure it even is popular. It was popular 15 to 20 years ago when they were a band that people had heard of. Not a classic rock band, which is what they are now.
I mean, you basically...
do you think people who are in their early 20s have the first idea who these people are?
Yeah, unfortunately, people in their early 20s can't afford shit. This is geared towards people our age and older. You're
not fooling me.
Well, I mean, you're still holding out for the Matchbox 20 reunion.
Look, Rob Thomas is 100% a better musician than either of the Gallaghers.
They're going to shove 70,000 into stadiums. Rob Thomas will play Casino Rama right now.
I think that's true.
Let's see. Can we find Rob Thomas on tour? He's actually playing on Tim's patio later, I think.
Well, the curtains will be open for that one.
Rob Thomas.
I don't know this.
Upcoming events. Rob Thomas. He is playing at casinos. He's playing the Thunder Valley Casino, the show at Agua Caliente Casino in Rancho Mirage, California.
Okay.
And Oasis is going to sell out Wembley Stadium
for 5 nights or something.
Am I supposed to be impressed by this?
A little bit, yes.
Well, if you see the juxtaposition, or as Jeff would say, the justice of position of these two takes, that, listen, you can hate Oasis all you want. I don't care that you don't.
I don't
like
even
Oasis.
hate them. I just don't think they're that good. What I don't
Okay.
like are people trying to tell me that they're amazing because they aren't.
I mean, you just had the Jets going 17-0.
No, I didn't.
Well, you wanted to, but then you had to pretend like they weren't going to go 17-0 because we know what you're up to.
No,
But-
you don't get to put words in my mouth.
I'm just something like music. It's art. It's subjective. People are clearly really excited. It's just the fact of how old you are. We are like the 90s. Anything, just hits harder, and you're gonna shit on people for being really excited about something like that. It was just weird to me. So yeah, I was one of these people who were like, "No, Tim, screw that take. That's not a fair take today."
You said you close your curtains.
Oh, okay.
You obviously hate them. You can't say that you don't hate them.
I don't
Right?
care for them. They're not the world. Like they have a couple of good songs, like almost every band. But like to say that they're like this amazing rock band, like give me a break.
What would you say are your 3 favorite Oasis songs? And if they have a couple good songs, give me your top 2.
I like "Don't Look Back in Anger." I think that that's a good beat. I like "Stand By Me." I think that's a good song. And I like "What's the Story, Morning Glory." I like that song too.
But just the story, like their story, is compelling of itself from the origins to now. And like, the real.
Then you should get on a private jet then, Jeff, and fly over to Wembley Stadium and get a VIP backstage pass and hang out with them.
Okay, firstly, that sounds awesome. That's not me, but I don't like them enough.
Surely
to
one of
fly-
your friends
I
on the
don't
bridal
like
path
them-
can lend you their PJ for the day.
I don't like them enough to fly across, the pond to go see them, but I'm expecting it will be a world tour. And when they do come to Toronto, I will go. And it takes a lot for me to want to go to a concert. And I would look forward to going to that.
Yeah, and I think that especially for people who are our age and slightly older. So if you're currently between the ages of, let's say, 37 and 50, that you remember how big they were in the mid-90s and then they just kind of went away when they broke up and you just didn't really hear much about them forever. So there's that mystique to them as well because they were getting talked about like at the height of the Brit-pop wars. The people were just like, yeah, these are basically the next Beatles. Like, I think you forget that part of it, of just how big of a pop culture phenomenon they were.
As a self-proclaimed pop culture savant,
Maven.
you are.
A maven of pop culture, yes.
I mean, they were a big deal, but I think that hype was unjustified. The music wasn't worth it. The lyrics are you can't understand half of the things that are being said in those songs. They don't make any sense. They're incoherent. And I'm not going to pretend like, oh, I'll just overlook that because it's got a good beat. No, I'm not going to do that.
You're
So yeah, okay, if you're 48 years old and you're real excited to see the Gallaghers play together again, I guess, good for you. Enjoy standing next to 70,000 other deranged people at Wembley and enjoy it.
Deranged people, huh?
Well, it's just deranged in the sense that like they go out of their way to go to see them in concert.
Deplorables?
No. I should be up by 50 points by now. No, I am of the opinion that that it's not impressive that they've gotten back together and have announced a tour a year from now, and I don't have to be impressed. But apparently, it's a terrible opinion to have, and I've locked up the craziest award of the year for saying I'm not impressed.
But how many acts in the entire world could do what they're like, could do 4 or 5 nights selling out Wembley Stadium?
I don't know.
3, 2, 3, 4? How
A
many?
few, I'm sure. I don't know. I don't know.
Not a few might be a reach, to be honest.
Matchbox 20? Because there's still currently
They should.
tickets available at the show at the Agua Caliente Casino if you want one. That's $80 for a VIP ticket.
That'd be pretty cool.
You should go. You should go line up.
Maybe. Well, given the age of the performers at the Super Bowl these days, why don't they ask Oasis to perform?
I mean,
That's the generation that performs now. So why don't you ask them to come?
Getting them to actually do a concert a year from now is probably a pretty big ask, knowing their track record. That trying to sign them to the Super Bowl is probably not going to be the greatest idea.
Yeah, I would like, how do you put this? I think if you're the Super Bowl or the NFL, you might want to see them like get along for 3 months before you invite them to like host the Super Bowl. Like you might want to need to see them do at least a show or two together before you believe it and book them. But one day, if they're actually don't hate each other again, I don't think you're wrong, Tim. I think they could do a Super Bowl in a few years. Like you're not wrong that they probably do fit the age demo that the halftime shows are coming to, and they're gonna hit that pretty soon. So if they don't hate each other, they'll do it.
Oh, you can go to Declassified in Washington, D.C. with Ben Folds presents Rob Thomas. So it's Ben Folds and Rob Thomas playing together, Tim.
I like Ben Folds.
Yeah, bricking is fun. Na, na. That's the only song I know of from Ben Folds. Brick. Not as good as the movie Brick, though.
Still sounds more enjoyable than going to Wembley Stadium to listen to Oasis.
I mean, I'll go to Rogers Center because I doubt they're going to play here. I would guess that they're going to play like Skydome or ACC or whatever it is. Maybe I'll have to go to Boston.
Olympic Stadium.
Do they do concerts at Olympic Stadium?
They certainly used to.
Well, that's great. I mean, I guess they used to play
I
together.
presume the building's not condemned, so I presume they do.
It's tough to get out to Olympic Stadium versus the Bell Center, which is downtown.
I guess.
Yeah, but if you want 60,000 people, you're not getting them at the Bell Center.
What are the odds they don't even make it to the first show?
50-50. The first show was like in July. This is August.
I'd be in, is all I'm saying, is to go see them. And you can hate Oasis as much as you want, but you have to, I guess, recognize that people like them.
Boo.
And it's not like disturbing that people like a popular band.
No. That's not. No, what I didn't like was that people would attack me for saying I think they're very overrated, because they are very overrated.
Did anyone attack you? I'm looking at these comments right now.
Yes, they're all against me. Well, not all. I mean, people like the Tour Junkies. They agreed with me, but there were, and there's a smattering of others who did, but most people were opposed.
Yeah. Okay. That's just because they oppose you having an unpopular take.
I did not expect that reaction. It took me aback.
Well, maybe it seems like you've really underrated the cultural impact of Oasis.
Evidently, I did. That this band who couldn't be bothered to perform for its fans for the last 15 years is beloved when I don't think it should be. Its music's not that very good.
Okay.
But Geoff will go. Geoff will tell us all about it.
I'll go too. I'll go with Geoff. But do you have anything else that you wanted to get off your chest, or should we move on?
That's what's been bothering me today. So I decided earlier this week, because it was new, that I had to try the brand new burger at McDonald's, the Big Arch. And I'm going to just say, I am so done with fast food places putting loose lettuce and loose crispy onions on burgers and stuff and sandwiches, because it all falls out of the sandwich. You don't get to eat it the way it's meant to. It all falls on the cardboard. Here I am like a dummy sitting in my car eating the sandwich. The onion pieces are going everywhere. The lettuce is going everywhere. It's a complete and utter mess, and you can't concentrate or focus on the thing that you're trying to eat because you're so absolutely petrified of where all these little pieces are going to fall. I don't understand what possesses places to put together sandwiches that have shredded lettuce and loose onions that fall out all over the place. Like, as a customer, that's just an aggravation for me. I like lettuce. I like those onions. I want to enjoy them, but I can't because they're all spilled all over the place. Then you end up eating them afterwards when you're finished the sandwich. And it's like, I don't want to do this. This is not the way it's meant to be eaten.
But you do.
It's meant to be eaten on the sandwich. Well, of course I do. I bought it. I paid for it. I'm not going to not eat the crispy onions. But the fact of the matter is they're supposed to be eaten in tandem with the sandwich. And so, like, I don't understand why, and McDonald's is not the only place with shredded lettuce. Why places do this to just cause aggravation for its customers? Who's asking for this? Who shreds lettuce at home? If you make a hamburger at home for yourself and you put lettuce on it, you don't shred it into pieces where you throw it on your burger. Of course not. You have like a good sizable leaf of that lettuce. Wendy's does that. But so few places do. It made me so upset because those aren't cheap burgers. And I really was excited to try this brand new burger they had brought out. And I came away thinking this was just an absolute mess. And I didn't like that experience. And that really bothered me.
Did you like the burger?
It was like an 8 out of 10. Like, I think it has.
So,
Sounds like you liked
hold on. Does that mean no, we don't know that for sure. The lowest rated piece of food Tim has ever given something is like a 7 out of 10. So 8 out of 10 might
No,
be
I've
like
given 5.
actively bad.
I think I gave the McRib like a 5. So, like, it has potential to be awesome because it's like 2 quarter-pounder patties. It's got this like tangy mustardy sauce. It's got lettuce and pickles and 3 slices of white cheddar and real stuff. But it's like, and so it's huge, which is a problem. I think it's a bit too big. But the real problem is it just keeps falling apart. And like pieces are going everywhere, and then you have to like spend 10 minutes cleaning up your car afterwards.
Well,
'cause
why
you've got lettuce
why do
over
you
here
have
and lettuce
why
over
do
there.
you have to clean up your car? I believe you were gifted a car tray to specifically for this purpose from Paul last year.
I bought that
I
for you
should have-
last year, and it sounds
I
like
know,
you've
and
lost it and you're eating like a slob, and I'm never buying you a gift again at
I
this
actually
point.
have it in my car between the seats, and I just didn't want to. I just wanted to eat it right away. I was hungry, and I wanted to go right at it. I honestly didn't want to take the time to set the table up because you actually have to like
the 6
put
seconds
it over the steering wheel, and anyway, I was just in a frenzy to eat it right away. I didn't want to wait a second longer once I had it.
But
I
then
had
you were
like
staring at it.
I also, this is going to sound a little crazy. I had a prime parking spot where there was no one around me. And so I didn't want to wait in case someone else like parked near me while I was eating. I wanted to do it while I was in the prime spot when there was no one around. So anyway, long story short.
Hold
do you-
on. What designates a prime spot in a McDonald's parking lot to eat your burger that you refuse to eat
Like-
inside?
Just the way I was parked, there was like no one to my left, no one to my right, no one in front of me, no one behind.
Privacy.
Yeah, I had this like privacy exactly. That it just, I don't know. I just prefer that if I could have that.
Why?
I don't know. It just makes me feel better. I don't know why. I
Is
can't
it
explain it.
because
Just I like it.
you tried to jam this thing into your gullet as fast as possible? You can't even set up the tray that
Well,
takes
that-
6 seconds?
Honestly, I needed what I should have asked for, and if I were ever to order again, I'd ask for a set of a fork and a knife to cut it in half
Oh, no.
in order to manage it.
Oh,
It's that
no,
big
Tim.
of a burger. It's that
You
big
know-
of a like. I do that at like gourmet places. Like if you get a hamburger or whatever, I cut it in half, and then we'll eat one half and then the other.
That's what I do for
'Cause
my
it's just
Why
kids.
don't you
too
just
unwieldy.
get out of your car and go inside? Sit
I
at
didn't
a
want
table.
to. I didn't want to do
What do you
that.
think it saves you? Like 50 seconds?
That's too many seconds,
I-
apparently. You got to get that down his
I didn't-
throat as quickly as
Because
possible.
because then you're done. He's finished and he has to stand up, get out of his car, and like
Shake it
wipe
off.
off the meal off him.
Not out of the car. I'm not going to litter. I do everything in the bag.
How do you do that in the bag?
You just sort of shake it off or pick it off and put it in the bag.
And then you scoop it from the bag into your mouth?
No. That stuff obviously is trash. It's touched clothing, which is dirty. You don't want to eat that.
If your
But,
clothing
like-
is that dirty that you like if you
Oh,
dropped
if you got
if you dropped
outside-
a
if you got
crispy
outside, it's
onion
covered
on
in germs.
you dropped a crispy onion on your shorts, you wouldn't eat that?
No, they're covered in germs at that point. I'm not going to do that.
I understand the
This is
concept.
crazy.
I don't know. We've done this before. I like people like, okay, you buy it, you eat it, you eating and driving. I find weird, but
You
gotta
could not
go
drive
somewhere.
and eat this thing. This thing is too
But
colossal.
I just
to
mean
eat
like
and drive.
I find the eating in the parking lot beside the sit down restaurant like one of the weirdest common things. But hey,
I mean, how common is
Is
it?
every-
If you just like patrolled and took a cruise around a McDonald's or a Wendy's or a Burger King or wherever, how many people do you think are in the parking lot eating?
That decent number.
Like, what do you
more
say?
than you
Like,
think, Pat.
More than you
I
think.
mean that.
how
yeah.
high? Like, I'm asking you, how many do you think?
Probably between 4 and 5 people at any given normal time.
During the
Like,
lunch
not
hour?
yeah, exactly. Not at 2 a.m. or whatever, but like, yeah, at 12:30 in the afternoon. Yes,
So
probably between 5 and 6 people are doing that.
Percentage of orders at a fast food restaurant where people take that food and go to their car and eat it. They don't eat it inside. They don't bring it to wherever they're going and eat it. They stop in their car, park in the parking lot, and eat it.
Yeah, they
5
whip
to
through the
7.
drive-through and they eat it. It's
Yeah,
weird.
5 to 10%, maybe a little higher.
So one in 20.
There's a whole industry that there's a tray.
Yeah, like this is what a lot of people do.
I mean, that doesn't sound like a lot of people. You just said 1 in 20.
But that adds up real quick. That's a sizable
And
amount of
I
people.
get like kind of, like just like
But like,
being
don't make
around
burgers
a
that are
lot
messy
of-
for me. I don't want to be covered in messy lettuce and onions. Like, it defeats the purpose. It makes me frustrated.
How
You
many?
wouldn't have been covered if you ate at a table.
or
but
set up your
I still
tray.
wanna-
But you
No, but
still
then it
gave
all-
it an
but
8
then
out
it-
of it.
then it all falls in the
experience didn't. The experience sounded way worse for you than an 8 out of 10.
I think that burger has potential to be like a 9.5 out of 10. It was like flavor wise, it's there, but if half of the constituent parts keep falling into the cardboard or falling on you, like that's a loss. Like that's something I'm thinking about.
Do you want
It's
this to be
bothering me.
regular menu item?
I think that's the intention, is to make it. It's already on the extra value menu. I think it's number 2 already on the extra value menu list. If you go to McDonald's, like I think that the intent.
Is it available to Americans?
I don't
Or
know.
just-
Well,
I believe they're testing it out here to see, like the chicken Big Mac was tested out here to see if it will work in the United States.
So the Big Arch, if people are wondering, is 2 quarter-pounder beef patties layered with 3 slices of white processed cheese and topped with crispy onions, slivered onions, pickles, lettuce, and delicious Big Arch sauce served on a toasted sesame seed and poppy seed bun. Does sound pretty enticing.
It is good.
I will give
It
you
is
that.
good.
Here are some fun facts about it. If you had to guess, set a line for calories on this one burger, what would you set it at?
1,200.
And would you
It's
take the
under that.
over or under of that, Tim?
It's under that.
Do you know what it is?
I think it's between $9.50 and $10.50, depending on how much additions you get.
It's without any additions. The stock Big Arch is 1,050 calories and will give you 140% of your daily saturated and trans fat and 110% of your daily sodium.
Well, one of its selling features is that it is supposed to be satiating. So, like, if that's what you're having, you kind of don't want to have anything else afterwards. Like, you're kind of good.
Now, what else did you order with your Big Arch?
Just the combo.
Yeah, so you got a large fry and a drink
No,
and a Big Arch.
medium, a medium fry, and a Diet Coke.
You don't make your fries large at McDonald's? Like if you're
No,
gonna go to
medium
McDonald's,
fries.
why not get the large fries?
I actually find the large fries are often too much. I've complained
You're
about
just
this
talking
during the
about-
Monopoly
You're
show.
talking about eating a fucking Big Arch.
The thing about McDonald's fries is that they go from perfect to not that perfect pretty quickly.
Yeah, but you don't seem to have
And
any
so-
problem finishing it within 30 seconds of getting it.
I'm just saying, I think the medium fry, particularly with a burger as colossal as this, a medium fry is perfect for it. And the Diet Coke doesn't add any calories. So
Okay.
Jeff, do you ever not supersize your meal? Maybe because I go and eat fast food so infrequently that when I go, I'm like, yeah, I'm going all in if I'm going. It's not like a Tuesday for me. And then a Wednesday and a Thursday and a Friday all at the same time, just ordering the same things over and over again. But just, I don't know, if I'm going to go and have, like McDonald's is known for one thing, it's fries. Like they have the best fries. Get a ton of fries.
I agree with you, but I also agree with Tim that like when I do get the large, I find it's a lot, but
yeah,
it's good.
it is.
But fries, the large fries is what I most often redeem my points with. I find it's the best
Okay.
value.
That I respect that. I think the breakfast is the place to redeem your points. But anyway, that's another conversation. I think there's real value on that breakfast menu.
Posted on the Reddit.
I've got a whole new strategy for Monopoly too that's based around the breakfast.
When is that again, Monopoly?
Not for like another month. But like I think I'm going to do just breakfast.
So coffee,
I
hash
think that's
browns.
where the value is. Yeah, McMuffins, like that's where the value is. They're cheaper than like all the other stuff that you get at the dinner
okay.
menu.
Pat, hear me out.
I'm here.
Just
I'm
saying
listening.
this because when you start the day at breakfast, it sets up the 2-a-days. Like it's so much easier to complete the 2-a-days when you go for
Well, you can't do
breakfast.
2 a day if you don't have one to start. That is true. But I'm not going to do those. I'm not planning to do 2 a days. I'm planning to just take advantage of the breakfast part of the menu in order to win. Because I'm going to get one of the big prizes this year. I have a feeling. Feel like I'm due. Like I'm not even saying that to laugh. Like I mean that. Like I feel like I'm due finally.
Well, I mean, you think
Like,
you
I care
think
so much.
you think that you have a 1 in 100 chance of living to 117 years old. I'm not surprised you think you're due to win one of the big prizes in McDonald's Monopoly.
Well, I do.
Nothing is more frustrating than when you are trying to like get something in the convenience store and you end up
Behind the
like,
lotto ticket guy. Ugh.
the regular lottery guy.
Oh,
It's
oh.
and even the cashier, like they feel for you because they know like the draw you just pulled. Like, oh, you can't pull a worse goddamn draw.
That is awful. I
And that's
completely
like
agree.
Tim thinking he's due.
I don't know if that's quite the same.
Trust me, they probably got a better chance.
I mean, Tim with McDonald's Monopoly is akin to the scratch card guy that just like scratches the barcode and tells you to run it. Doesn't even want to scratch the ticket. Just like, here, did I win? Did I win? Give me another 100. Did I win? Did I win? If you could do that for McDonald's Monopoly, that's what you would be doing.
I've long told you, yes, I wish I could just buy the stickers.
Maybe you don't even want the stickers. You just want to see if you won or not. Like if there was a barcode you could scan, that'd be much more preferable to you.
Yes,
Tim,
absolutely.
What would you pay for like a rack of like hot cups? And by hot cups, I mean like an employee stole like a.
No, nothing. I would not participate in that.
What if they had guaranteed winners in it though?
I'm sorry. Then
you could get yourself a Dodge Viper, Tim.
That would be
You'd be the coolest 73-year-old around.
No, I wouldn't get the genuine credit that I would deserve for winning because I would know deep down I didn't really win it. I played the system, and I wouldn't consider that. I didn't put all this effort into it to take a shortcut.
Did anyone watch?
It's deranged to think a McDonald's game win is like in your future or due or like serendipitously coming your way.
I am due. Few people care about this as much as I do.
That doesn't mean anything.
Look, it doesn't mean anything to you, but believe it or not, you're not the king of all things to decide what does and doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I think what Geoff is getting to is that you caring about it affects it in no way whatsoever.
I just want it more, okay? I just want it more.
So you're not. So what you're saying that Geoff's not trying to win when he pulls the sticker, and that's affecting his odds. That's what you're saying.
No, but Geoff's not going as often as he could go if he was really into win.
Did anyone watch the Netflix Fincher movie, The Killer?
No,
it's quite good.
Was that the one where he was the assassin, but
yeah,
it was slow? Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but he got McDonald's breakfast when he was on his stakeout, but he didn't eat any of the. He just basically got a bunch of McSausages, but just took out the sausages and ate the sausages in the morning. It's a good move. I did that on our golf trip, Tim. I went to McDonald's early in the morning. I got myself 3 sausage McMuffins and just ate all the sausage out of it. That was my morning meal. Delicious.
Yeah, you should eat the egg too. The egg is obviously better for you.
It's more better, is it?
English. That's good. That's good English. But the egg is obviously better for you.
I don't know.
They also have the sausage muffin, which is just cheese and.
Oh yeah, you can. Oh yeah. Believe me, you can just get this. That's the sausage McMuffin.
No, not McMuffin.
No. If you order, no. The sausage McMuffin is the sausage without the egg. The sausage and egg McMuffin is the one with the. Are you trying to lecture me on this?
Sorry.
I order this all the time. I know what it's called.
Sorry, I'm genuinely sorry.
Okay, there's a lot of things I don't know a lot about, but I know what's on the menu.
Now, you might think that the egg is more better, which you're probably right. I don't like how the eggs taste at McDonald's.
They're real eggs. They actually crack them fresh.
I understand that. They don't taste right. Like when I cook an egg at home and I crack it, it doesn't taste like it does at McDonald's. So,
well, you don't quite cook them on the same type of top either.
Yeah, I think I prefer how I cook them much better. Like I'd rather make my own eggs. I'm not going to sit there and make sausage patties at home. I just want to get that influx of protein and be on my way without all the carbohydrates.
Fine. I like their eggs
more than regular eggs.
I mean, they are regular eggs because it's just a fresh egg that they've cracked. I don't see a huge difference.
I don't know.
Way less McDonald's in my future because summer drink days are.
That's as I said on Twitter today. It's the surest sign that summer has ended. Dollar drink days have gone away.
Now that I think about it, Geoff, I don't really love eggs outside of my house. If that makes any sense.
You like the egg bites at Starbucks?
I do, but I like those because I go to the gym, I get them, they're a quick meal, so I can get my protein into myself and I can be on my way. Like that's more of a convenience and low calorie thing with high protein. It's not that I'm like going out of my way because I love them so much.
No, but the economists have this distinction between revealed preferences and stated preferences. And if you're buying something all the time, even if you say you don't like it, you actually do like it. That's a reveal.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I eat far more eggs at home than anything else. That's where I eat the majority of my eggs. That's where the egg consumption comes from. I like those ones at Starbucks, but if I had the choice between making eggs at home and getting those, I'd make the eggs at home.
Yeah, I mean, I like home eggs too.
And Tim's egg rankings.
I bet you eggs would be good on a Blackstone.
Maybe
sure.
I just there's very
I've looked at Blackstones. I just don't know if I'd
I've
use it
seen,
enough.
I see some of those. I get in the rabbit holes online.
Yeah,
People
me
make some
too.
great breakfasts on those suckers.
Me too,
but-
which is why I got sucked into them too. I was like, gee, I can make some really
but your
fancy
your
breakfast.
egg list, I remember, like most of your lists, being gross
Okay.
without specifics.
That's good that you don't know what it was about, just that you remember your visceral reaction to it.
It's true.
all right.
Egg. Yeah, don't call it a McMuffin. That has eggs, please.
Denver and Seattle is the first game of the late slate. Seattle.
Like when I told Jeff who the fullback was on the Chargers, and he jumped down my throat as if he wouldn't know who the fullback was. On the
You
Chargers.
said Jeff didn't even know who that guy was,
You're right. I tried to correct you, just like you tried to correct me.
and I showed you a tweet from like a week before
You
me
did.
talking about the guy.
I agree. That's why I think it's a great analogy.
Sorry, it made me angry again that you stepped on me there.
I don't want the
Sorry.
show to be 3 hours. Also, I won't let Pat move on because I need to needle Jeff more.
Whatever.
Have you noticed how Pat Mayo seems a whole lot better rested recently? It's no secret. I got my old mattress, took it outside, threw it in the trash the moment my Helix mattress showed up. My wife and I took the quiz on helixsleep.com. We went through everything and we decided the firmness. We wanted the temperature, how we actually sleep. And all of a sudden, the mattress shows up, we lay down, and I'm not having a lot of the sleep problems that I've been having in the past. I just wake up 50 times a night. Not no more with my Helix mattress. I was sleeping on my side with my head underneath my pillow, and I was getting chicken wing for when I woke up, and my back and my shoulders were sore because there was a divot inside my old mattress where I've been sleeping on it so long. Now, all of that has gone. It's been such an upgrade with my Helix mattress that I'm getting full sleep, and even my Apple Watch is telling me that I'm getting a far more full sleep this time. I'm not hitting 54% on my sleep cycle anymore. Now I'm up at like 90%, even 100% some nights. So hopefully this can help you out as well. And you can go to helixsleep.com/PatMayo for the March Madness sale, which is 20% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/PatMayo for 20% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/PatMayo.
I wish people would stop telling me that I couldn't mountain climb to a base camp
On Mount Everest.
at a mountain, or a mountain, not to the top. I could never get to the top. But it seems to me that in this day and age, with all the modern technological advances in terms of weather prediction and clothing and you name it in terms of tech, that the average Joe could get to base camp if they wanted to, if they spent some time training.
How high up is
Instead of
base
people
camp?
like, I don't know, but it's not like it's nowhere
You
near.
don't even
the
know.
summit. It's not. It's nowhere near the
Tim.
summit.
Listen, can't you? People of our girth getting in F1 cars, going to high or low, like going up there in altitude and that oxygen, that's not where we belong. It's not for us. You have to be self-aware and accept some of these things.
No, I don't
You
want to
say-
close these
hold on.
doors on
You
myself.
say you take, like, if you have to shovel, you need a break every like 10 to 12 minutes.
Because it's dangerous for your heart.
And
What
you
do
think
you
and you think that climbing Mount Everest isn't?
Well, I'm not saying to scale it to the top. I don't think I could do that.
Okay, so you don't think that you could do it. So
No, I don't think I could do
So
that.
it is 5.5 miles, and you're saying you're not going to get to the summit. I was talking to Paul earlier when you had brought this up that I don't know if you could walk in a straight line for 5.5 miles on flat ground.
Yes, I could.
Could you?
Could
We
you
walk longer
imagine
than we walk
being-
longer than that playing golf.
No, we do not.
being in the group with Tim, like you've decided you've waited your whole like adult life to make this journey, and you get there and it's like you know your shaman's also responsible for Tim. Oh my god, Sherpa, whatever. Like,
But again,
that's
not
the
to,
guy
not to-
you're like attached to on the rope going up.
I'm not saying it's risk free because it obviously has some genuine risks. But look, if you do a little training, I think with the modern technology they've got today, getting to base camp is something that you could do. No, not getting to the very top. That seems to be impractical. But I think a person could do it.
Is that a thing anyone does? They get to base camp and they say, "I made it, turning around now. Good luck on the rest of your journey, everyone."
That's what I would like to do. And then people ask me if I've climbed Everest. I'd say I've climbed on Everest. Because I will have done that.
Yeah, fair.
I've
Can't
gotten
take
to the
that.
summit. No, fair enough. I haven't, but I climbed on Everest.
Paul is
You
the biggest.
are worried
Hold on,
about your
Paul,
backyard ladder. The steps in your backyard, you're like afraid of.
Well, yeah, because I'm not wearing mountain climbing equipment to go up and down them either.
It's like 9 steps.
They're very steep and they're very icy.
The mountain's not.
But I'm not wearing mountain climbing gear at home.
Paul
Not the same thing.
theorized before the show. Paul is the biggest outdoorsman of all of us because none of us are really outdoorsmen here. Paul is. Paul likes to go on hikes. Paul, do you think you could set up a hike around here that CUST wouldn't be able to do?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, nothing's too difficult around here.
No, it's
but
like
I mean, if
beginner
you added in like winter and like slippery, yeah, like if we tried to like do it in the winter, yeah, I'm sure we could find something within 20 minutes from here that he would absolutely fail on.
Not everything's for everyone.
Those Sherpas would be licking their chops seeing Tim. They'd be like, well, if an avalanche comes, like, we're going to be well fed.
Not everything's for.
CUST is going to get alive on Mount Everest?
Yeah. That was a plane crash in the Andes. Not everything's for everyone. That's right. Well, I don't know if Geoff watched any of the Sunday show, but speaking of things that are for everybody, we talked about, you sent me the link for the new Matlock and how excited that we got for that. Apparently, the most popular shows that had tens of millions of viewers for decades, no one's ever heard of them. No one's watched them. The people who watched them weren't real. The Nielsen ratings weren't real because no one's ever seen these shows.
Okay,
This is
hold
what we
on,
learned,
Geoff, before you comment on this, let me lay out a scenario for you.
Tim,
These millions of people in 1980 were watching a show designed for old people, and Tim is now wondering, what happened to these people?
What did happen to these people?
They fucking dead, Tim! They died!
They're not. They're not.
It's been 44 years at a demo of a show that was 50 and older. You think all these 95-year-olds and 100-year-olds are walking around? They're not you. I get that. They can't just live to be 118 years old. They did.
Pat nailed that on the head. I mean, we know Matlock because our grandparents liked Matlock, and you'd see it on. And guess what? When we were homesick from school, like, you had to just watch what was on. Unless I was going to put in an old wrestling VHS or, maybe like a Blue Jays World Series video or MLB's greatest moments or one of those free VHSs that came with Sports Illustrated. But if I didn't, Matlock was on at 1 o'clock. It was like all afternoon on like channel 31. And sometimes I'd be sick enough and I'd watch it. So I found it a bit endearing as I got older. Kids today, like, remember that cartoon Pro Stars? Michael Jordan?
Yeah. Bo Jackson and Wayne
Gretzky.
Yeah.
It was on for 30 minutes on Saturday. And if I missed it, I didn't get it again. Today, I'd be able to watch it and all day long, whatever I wanted. These kids today can choose their adventure. We just had to watch what was on TV. And that's why we know Matlock.
But we're the majority still. So that means most people know all about these shows and therefore should be very interested and be able to be conversant about them.
Yeah, but no, people our age, our demo is like 35 to 50, let's say. These were not the people sitting down to watch Matlock, as Geoff described. Matlock would be on with your parents or grandparents, where the hell you were. It's not like, oh man, we're big Matlock fans. You were. No one else was.
Well, yeah, it was a great show.
That's great. You can watch Pro Stars episode 1, Geoff, on YouTube right now. Hot Pro Stars jamming. Apostrophe. This reeks of 1991.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Tim. You and your network TV.
You don't think that new Matlock looks good? You saw the video. You sent it to me. You're telling me that with Kathy Bates, who is a legitimate Hollywood star, isn't going to like knock it out of the park on that show?
Oh my God. A network procedural, that's like, we're done. We're done.
Do you know how many people watch NCIS every week?
Yeah, like,
you know how many people watch
we did it.
Law and Order every week?
We looked up the ratings for NCIS. It was like 8 million people.
That's a lot of people.
It's really not, considering that show would have got 5 times as many viewers 15 years ago.
And they think they think they're gonna win people over with like woke Baywatch or whatever they're putting out. I saw a commercial for.
What about the Captain Boat? I'll watch that.
Doctor
That
Boat.
looks-
It's Doctor
Dr.
Boat.
Boat.
Tim. Dr. Boat. Oh, maybe the
See,
boat is
I
the
saw
real
that,
doctor.
and that almost looked like it's when I first saw it. It almost had like something like mysterious is going to happen, like Lost, but it's just like normal boat stuff. Bleh.
You know what show I
Why
did
don't
start? You know what? We finished Elementary, so we needed another procedural just to have in the background at nighttime to have on the TV for my wife and I. You know what we started, Jeff?
Blue Bloods.
The Mentalist.
Wow. Okay.
The guy's great.
I'm not
I like-
watching.
I love-
I liked The
anything.
Mentalist. It was okay.
It's fine. Just the
The
Mentalist.
great thing about network TV is that A, it's family friendly, so you don't have to worry about cursing or anything too violent.
Do you worry about cursing?
B, I don't. If I'm unwinding to watch the
just like when
TV
Jeff
on a-
was smoking dope, according to you.
I am still shocked that wasn't nicotine. But anyway,
Jeff, did you heard about?
I'm still
if you watched
shocked by that.
If you
I
if you
didn't
watched the
know.
Sunday show, you heard about this, right?
Yeah. Good for. Tim.
I thought that
I love
vapes were
Tim.
only for like vape juice and like nicotine. I didn't realize that people could vape other things like that. I guess it never occurred to me. Anyway,
Oh, you could vape like some hardcore like resin.
that
Whatever they got
doesn't-
going these days.
now that you say that, I guess it doesn't surprise me. But
We went on a golf trip with a guy who lost his vape pen like 3 times during the round.
yeah, but because he started to vape.
Yeah, it's a weed vape, Tim.
Yeah, I thought it was just like the flavored tobacco stuff.
It wasn't. I do have one more
like-
thing I wanted to bring up to you.
All
though.
right, fine.
That I heard that I don't know how often you could get away with this, but Jeff, where we live and where you live as well, there are private liquor stores that can sell like non-name brand beer. There are like private wine stores that can do the same thing. But if you want liquor, name brand beer, the government controls all of the liquor stores. So it's the NSLC here, it's the LCBO where you're at. And basically, if you go in and try to steal something, like these are government employees, they're basically told like, don't touch anyone, let them walk out. Like, don't put yourself at risk for any of this stuff. So there's a guy going around where we live right now, and he's known as the liquor pimp, Jeff, and he pimps out old people to go into the liquor store to steal booze, which he then resells after the fact. Don't you think that Tim could be a liquor pimp? He would know all these old people to do his dirty work.
that is incredible. I mean, yeah, I
Terrible.
guess
Just
that's
terrible.
That's the thing these days. You could just shoplift and you're allowed to walk out the front door, apparently. What a world. What a world.
Liquor pimp. Also, besides climbing Mount Everest, I think that's something that got lost with Tim this week too, Jeff, is that he said he'd make a really good long-haul trucker, which is not true at all.
Okay. I mean,
It's mostly highway driving.
If you've
you
ever
can
been-
barely drive your fucking Corolla.
I don't drive a Corolla. I drive a Camry. If I drove a Corolla, I'd say I drove a Corolla.
somewhere I have to go semi-regularly is kind of near like a truck training driving center. And watching these guys like in training, making the turns and like blocking whole intersections, it seems like there's an intense, I guess once you get the hang of it, but that's actually not the craziest thing. I don't think Tim knows what he's in for with the meal ready to eat kits. I don't think he even understands in the slightest. This is a guy who, like me, I have very maybe childlike.
Yeah, so
to
you
an
both
embarrassing fault.
eat like 6-year-olds
Yeah, listen.
What do you mean meal ready to eat kits? What is that about?
on Sunday night.
The MREs, you think Pauls can buy the box of MRE foods that you want to buy?
Oh, you mean the apocalypse foods that we were going to eat on
Yeah,
the show?
but those,
Oh.
that stuff's like was invented for, like soldiers,
Oh no,
in
I have
combat.
no idea what those foods are going to be.
You're
I assume
gonna-
it.
No, I want to go back to the truck driver thing because I have a few questions, Tim. Because these are long hauls that you're doing. You can't just be stopping all the time. Like, where are you going to pee? You got to pee in a bottle.
I'm not going to do that.
Well, then how are you going to make your
disgusting.
delivery on time?
Well, I'm not then.
Well, that doesn't sound like you're very good at this, does it?
I just thought it would be fun to drive the big rig. Honestly, I had this image of myself in the front of the cab wearing one of those hats, driving down the highway, honking the horn, driving around. I don't know. I like the idea of it.
If you tried to honk the horn of an 18-wheeler, you would pull the thing and then you would scare yourself with how loud it was.
I don't know about that if I knew it was coming.
So you want to go to an interstate shower house?
Yeah.
You have to clean yourself after
truck stop showers. You have to be all over. Where else are you going to shower?
I'm sure I would just shower at the hotel I'm going to stay at.
What
Are you looking
hotel?
forward
You
to,
sleep in the fucking truck.
You sleep in the car on the in a truck stop, and you might bond with other truck drivers, or
you find a
real
lot.
shady
Or I mean, do you know what a lot lizard is, Tim?
I have no idea.
They're the hookers at fucking truck stops.
you're not ready for this game if you don't know what a lot lizard is, Tim.
I just want to drive around the highway.
You're out of your element, Tim, when it comes to truck driving.
Can you guess what a lot lizard is?
I just told him.
He just told me what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim.
I think it's a hard job. I think it's a very difficult job.
Agreed.
Doesn't sound like it, since you just think you
to
can
do it as a career.
You can kind of drive a car. You can't drive a stick.
I think I could.
They don't make these an automatic for one thing. Two, you are the one person whenever we go anywhere that we don't let drive because you're so bad at driving.
You are.
I could do one run. That's what I'd like to do. No, as a career, it would be far too difficult.
Can I ask you?
I have great respect for the people who drive the big rigs.
No, you don't. In the same way,
I do.
In the same way, you don't have respect for the people who are lay tile or put a driveway down.
I have great respect for those people. Those people are doing fantastic
the drywall
work.
up in the house. No, you think what they do is simple and easy.
No, I don't think it's simple.
Then why do you think you can do the drywall in your own house?
I think I could do a decent enough job at the dream house. Not as good as a professional. I think I could do one run on the highway in the big rig. That's all.
You would not be able to move the 18-wheeler 1 inch. You wouldn't be able to start it for one thing, and you can't drive a standard, so it would just stay where it is.
Tim, can I give you better advice? I think we just reel in the 18-wheeler, and you do more of the motorhome, like the RV mission around the across the country or something. That's realistic.
I don't even want to go far. I just want to go on a day's trip.
Oh my
driving.
God.
That's all I want. Think that would be fun. That's all I want to do.
What was that? What was that terrible show on MTV? The guy hosts that show that's on for 23 and a half hours a day on MTV now.
Robin Big.
Deer Dick, yeah. He used to have Ridiculousness is on all the time. But he used to have that Dream Factory show where he would play out his fantasies. That should be CUST show, but he can't do any of the things. It's here's CUST trying to drive an F1 car. Oh, he can't get in it.
I could get in the F1 car. I could get to base camp. Could jump from space.
You got an audible from the intern.
Well, but I mean, it's just going up and jumping. That guy in the Red Bull jumping comp, all you did is go up and he jumped.
I mean, I need you to check out your VO2 levels because you're going to be climbing up on Everest, going to high altitude. You're going to be space where there's not a ton of air. You need to make sure your VO2 levels are where they need to be. I don't know if they're that good.
I don't even know what they are.
That's probably not for the best then, because you probably need to up those before you try to even think about attempting these things.
You ever hike? I'm not even trying to be rude. Do you?
A couple of times I've gone on hikes. It's been a little bit.
So now
I don't particularly enjoy it. I'm being perfectly honest with you.
But you want to go to base camp?
I just think it would be cool to be able to say that I got to Everest Base Camp.
Why don't you just Google Maps it and then say that, and then just say you did it?
I have. I've seen the videos of people on top of Everest, and it's that would be really cool. But it would be anyway.
Why don't you start with a canoe trip in Ontario or something?
I don't like canoes. I fall out of them. I used to be a member of a paddling club, and I kept falling out of the canoe and the kayak every time. My balance is not good. They gave me one year, the untippable kayak. Well, it's not untippable when I get in it, because I tip that thing over immediately.
Is that why you won't tip anyone?
No. I'm not great with my balance on the water in watercraft. I have to.
What if Paul was in the stern position, just leading the way?
No, I would just get no. We would that canoe would tip over as soon as we it just would.
Imagine if Paul was riding the canoe for Tim, or I guess it wouldn't be a kayak unless it was a 2-man kayak, and then Tim saw a fish in the water or something and yee! And freaked out.
Yeah, I'd pull up my oar and I would just want to go back to shore, please.
Tim can drive across or swim across his lake, though.
Oh yeah, according
Remember,
to
that's
him.
another
did
thing he
once.
said he could do.
He also said he could.
19 years ago.
I still don't believe that. It's
Didn't
a
you-
kilometer and a half of straight swimming.
Yeah, you're right. I was in much better shape 19 years
Do you
ago. I
think
had a
you could
wetsuit
even
on.
like pitch a tent?
Wait, you hold on. Did you say
No.
Did you say that you had a wetsuit on, or you were using a life jacket?
No, I had a wetsuit on.
Did you use a life jacket too?
No, I did. You don't need to when you're wearing a wetsuit. At least not the one I had on. It was like a flotation device.
That's what you're calling swimming across your lake? You were using a fucking flotation device?
No, like I was wearing the wetsuit, which is like a flotation device.
No, it isn't.
Yeah,
Like
wetsuit.
the wetsuit I had on, like helped you float.
So you had a cheater wetsuit?
I guess so. Like when I put it on, it felt like it was keeping me like floating. You know what I mean?
But you were like, you were an adult.
Just barely. I want to say I was 18, 19.
Okay, but you were like a fully full, like,
So you were
In
wearing
terms
like
of,
the suits
like-
that I put my kids in when we bring them swimming.
yeah,
I
like you're
was
still,
wearing-
like way too old to need that buoyancy for swimming at 18. That's my point.
I don't understand what the criticism is. I wore a suit. It helped me to float, and I swam across the
Sounds
lake.
like-
Yeah,
were
because you're
wearing, like,
claiming
a
that you
baby-
swam the kilometer and a half across this lake using a fucking life jacket.
It's not a life jacket.
Of course you swam across it. You couldn't sink.
Why would I sink? I was swimming.
Could you have done it without the wetsuit on?
I mean, I'm sure I could have. I could
Really?
just put on a life jacket.
So you
and taken
needed
the
to wear
wetsuit
a
off.
what? You needed to wear a wetsuit that would help you float, but you chose to not. You could do it without it. Is what you're saying?
I put on a suit. The suit gave me some buoyancy. I wore it for safety purposes, and I swam across the lake.
I don't think this is a legitimate swim across the lake, Jeff.
Oh yeah, what a shock! Everyone's always trying to take away my credit.
This is like when
You
he
can't do
he
this.
told us he was
You
doing
can't do
laps
that.
at the pool, but he was using a fucking flutter board.
No, I don't do those. Use a flutter
Didn't
board
you
because
say
my
you
watch
had a
doesn't count them
list?
anymore.
Didn't you say you had a list of like forgotten credit things that people owed you?
Yeah, but now it's like
we'll
it's,
say-
it's like dated.
We'll save that for next week. We can always rehash some stuff. Listen, new viewers didn't know that you could jump from space, as we just found out.
Anybody can jump from space. It's just jumping. It's just jumping. Gravity takes effect. Thank you, Sir Isaac Newton.
But he didn't invent gravity. Gravity's just
No,
there.
he discovered it. He discovered it.
He has the theory of gravity.
Yes,
We don't even know if it's real. Just
You're
theory.
right. Well, technically, you're right. With general relativity and stuff, there's always changes to what we think are actually true. If you're like me, and you know, one of the difficulties you have at lunchtime when you're in the office is trying to figure out where to go that doesn't have ridiculous lines. The longer, the more and more people that are coming back to the office on a routine basis, the busier places are getting at lunchtime. It occurred to me, in this era of apps and AI, there should be an app that I can open up that can tell me what the traffic is at every single fast food place near me so that I can make a decision on which place I want to go at that time. Don't tell me that we can't have Google Maps already that tells you where traffic is on the road where there's a delay, and I can't have this. Now, it's not good every day. Like if it's Wednesday, it's Whopper Wednesday. I'm only going to Burger King. I get that. I don't need the traffic report every day of the week. I could probably customize that. But on a normal day, like if you're somewhere like where you have several options, my choice will be made in part by who has the shortest line.
Tim.
And so there should be like
Tim.
AI for me to
Tim.
click a button so I
Tim.
know exactly
Tim,
what the line is.
Tim, it's called the Crowdless app. This already exists.
I've
And
never
I
heard
would
of this.
say a lot
Well,
of
this is a good idea then.
You should download
but
it.
a lot of the pickup, like a lot of the apps, like for the place you want to go,
Like
will
what
show-
my drive-through is like. So
When
this
it
place
shows-
tells you what the drive-through is like right now.
well, just
how many
says
people are
like
in the
if I
drive-thru.
want to pick up, it'll say 10 to 12 minutes or 20 to 30 minutes.
So
Like,
it knows how many cars are in the drive-through lane right now, and I know
I
how.
don't know about fast food drive-through, but I'm talking.
That's what I
about-
wanted to know. That's what I want to know.
Fast food drive-through is efficient. It moves fast, faster than the line. Just
I
like
don't want to be in the big lines. I want to go quick.
Well, then don't eat it at fucking noon or
So,
something.
so if this app does that, that's great. But if it doesn't, then we need an app that tells you exactly
What?
what the lines are like at all the places around you.
I don't want to be rude about this.
Like we have AI these days.
I don't
You
want-
I just
be-
told you
I-
the app exists. You can download it and use it.
I
Okay.
don't want to be rude about this, but like you're looking for an app to tell you the McDonald's line isn't busy at drive-thru at lunchtime. Like, it's like, come on,
Like,
man.
of course it is.
Yeah, like what and you see in the States, like that Chick-fil-A drive-thru, it moves. Like that thing moves. It might look huge, that In-N-Out drive-thru, that is an efficient operation. There is no lollygagging. There is no lollygagging.
That's a good point. How long do you find, even if, like, let's say I find McDonald's is quite efficient with this stuff because they basically already have the food made, just to keep everything on a continuous circle because they know they're going to be so busy. But I don't find like I've ever really waited that long in a McDonald's drive-thru unless you order
I do
something.
because I customize.
Well, that's your fucking fault then, isn't it?
So then they send you like, wait, they probably say pull over and we'll bring it to you.
The worst. I
Well, you're
hate that.
Oh shit, man. You're special, so they're treating you special.
I just don't like that. And then you have to find the spot. And then anyway, it's
They have like specific spots you can pull into.
They're not always
You're
easiest
a
to get
fucking
into.
goober. Eat the fucking stuff like you should, or you got to park in the special spot because you're
Like,
special.
I like to custom and like
the snowflake
anyway,
spot. This is
And
what you
then
get for
like
being
to
a
loop
snowflake.
around the parking lot and find like the spot, and then you observe the
That- well, at least I
line
use
as
the-
you're
at
eating your
least-
lunch.
At least I use the time in the spot to scope out where it is I'd like to park.
This is, you had the like you wanted the Nexus for McDonald's the other day.
This all goes back to the same frustrations that I just don't want to wait.
But aren't you about shared experience?
Yeah, he's the same
when it
guy
comes
that
to
won't.
waiting for
He's
my
the
fast
same.
food.
He wants to use an app to find out how crowded a fast food place is. Yet he won't use an online banking app, and he'll go stand in the line at the bank, which actually takes forever.
Well, I'm not doing that under the same time constraints.
So if you had all the time in the world, you would wait in these fast food lines forever. Is what you're saying?
Well, what I'm
could
saying is I
also
would pick
use-
the place I want most, and I'd wait in the line if that's what I wanted most.
Like-
But like for me, timeliness, like I'm on the clock, it counts in terms of timeliness. I've
Can
only
I
got
tell
so
you
many minutes.
something? Can I tell you something? Okay, hear me out, because I know you're afraid of these things. But like, you could pre-order on the app. The problem with McDonald's is they
No.
won't let you. They won't acknowledge that you're there until you're in range of the Wi-Fi. But Wendy's, you can ask them to start making the food at any time. So when you're 5 minutes out, you can have them start making it. You can walk right in and get it. But you're
Well, I don't
afraid
want to
to
get out
use
of my.
the
I don't
app.
want to. I don't want to get out of my car.
So you can still do it in the drive-through.
But it's like I'm on a clocked time here. I've only got 30 minutes for lunch.
So
I
then
have to get
waiting
it in and
12,
out.
you can be faster than to park your car, walk in, grab it, and then go back to your car.
And I don't
I'm
know.
saying what you want exists. Like you can pre-order it.
Well, what I'm being told by Pat here is that there's already something that exists that looks after this. So okay, great.
Well,
you
but
think you're
here's
looking
here's
for
the issue. Here's the issue with that app. It's crowdsourced, so you are expected to contribute to that as well. So if you end up in a line at a McDonald's, you need to go on the app and be like, "Hey, there's a lot of line here." That's how people end up knowing. It's shared information, which you will never fucking do.
I don't know how to do that.
You
Like, I
use
went
the
to Dairy
app.
Queen the other day, and it was so unsatisfying
Why?
because the Dairy Queen was right across the street from what I wanted, but the Dairy Queen didn't have a line, so I went there instead.
What are you in a rush for?
Yeah, you eat
And
your
like-
food in like less than 20 seconds.
wanna-
It goes from bag to in your mouth before the guy can even like ring you in. Well, how much time are you spending eating?
It was a bad scene.
What
What,
do you?
when was
like,
what day of the week was this?
Monday.
Monday at work, and you went out for lunch, or was this like after work?
Oh, I was at lunch.
Was that lunch? You couldn't have spared the extra 3 minutes it would have taken you in line?
Well, just because there was a
Because
line, there was
Dairy
no line
Queen,
at Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen, not fast. Even if there's no one in the line, it takes them forever to get you your food.
It did take longer than I would have expected, but at the same time, I got it, and there was no one around me, and it was anyway. The whole thing was like it was okay, but it wasn't what I wanted. You know what
you
that's like?
need to not. It's hard, and like I think about these sometimes when I want to get frustrated. Like, oh, that car in like front of me, I didn't get that light, or I know what I want to order at the sub shop, and this lady in front of me is asking like 800 fucking questions. She's like, it's okay. This 5-7 minutes do not matter. Everything's fine. Like what? Like I know it's not the easiest thing, but like why not? Like why can't you just wait and get what you want?
I mean, I could have, but I was being impulsive, granted, but I just like didn't want to wait. I just wanted to get my stuff.
You're really part of the now generation, aren't you, Tim?
When it comes to this in particular, I am. But I want to talk about something else that really bothered me.
Oh, good.
And
There's
like,
more.
oh yeah, I want to talk about. I'm really annoyed that Geoff denigrated my enjoyment of the MRE meal on Sunday night. I don't have any idea what's wrong with why he would denigrate me for enjoying what was a delicious, hearty tortilla soup that had rice, that had lentils, that had beans, that had a real flavorful
Salt.
kick.
It had salt in it, is what it had.
Tell me what's so offensive about enjoying this meal, Geoff? Like what's wrong with me? Apparently,
Okay, enjoying it to that level while being like afraid of a nice restaurant is very fucking weird to me.
Yeah, it's insane
Also,
behavior.
Yeah, like that's insane. Like to claim you're a picky eater, but you are excited for it's Jared, right?
Yeah.
Makes it. Did I get that right? I don't want to.
Yeah, you're right. Jared
Yeah.
made it.
Yeah, I mean, these are things, these are like rations in like wartime or zombie apocalypse.
bring it on.
No one should have to eat these things. These like I think you got off the hook with the soup. I'm not really sure what it starts as. But soon, like it's just powder. You're gonna eat a meal that just starts from powder. And you're afraid of like a Michelin star restaurant.
Let me tell you this:
and you're excited to eat that. That is very weird to me.
I'm a lot, and I mean this in all sense. I'm a lot less worried about pulling my arm into that bin on Sunday night and pulling something else out than I am about the food that will be presented to us at that tasting menu.
That's crazy.
That
I'm
is
far more anxious
craziness.
about that.
How can you explain us why that's the case?
Because after having had one of those MR8 things, I know that everything I'm going to be served is probably going to be delicious.
It's not okay, Geoff. I had some of this too. It is most certainly not delicious. Is it edible? Sure. Would I sit down and eat it? Absolutely not. It literally just tastes like salt. That's all it is.
2 bowls, it was so good.
Yeah, and you know what? We looked up the nutritional value, very low in calories, but in those 2 bowls, which I think, Paul, they were larger than a serving each, right?
If that bowl isn't a serving, then the
I think it was like
serving
3
doesn't mean
servings per.
No, it was like
package or
3
something
servings
like
per bowl. So it was actually like 450 calories. And I think it turned out to be 470% of your daily sodium intake.
It didn't even seem that much.
Do you not taste salt?
I thought it was it was delicious. I enjoyed it. And the fact that here I am enjoying a simple hearty soup on TV.
Well, there was nothing. Hold on. There was nothing.
Jeff was so
there was
upset
nothing.
about it.
I was shocked.
There was nothing hearty about the soup whatsoever.
It was literally named hearty tortilla soup. It's in the name. Nothing hearty about it, except in the title. I guess that's nothing, is it?
So this is the same as your Diet Coke is healthy because it has diet in it.
No, but it's healthier than regular Coke because it has diet in it. And like Geoff over here just saying that, I'm history's greatest monster for enjoying an MRE soup, which is quite delicious. Like, I don't understand the criticism.
It's like self-heating food that you put in water. That's a powder that's literally created by like the Department of Defense for combat use.
And
no
so
one,
what?
It is the fact that you are like enjoying it and looking forward to it when it's not.
I'm genuinely looking forward to Sunday night. One of the things I actually am upset about us missing Sunday night in 2 weeks is that I'm not going to have a night of trying this MRE food.
That's you're messed. You're messed. You're deranged.
I like it.
Deranged.
I hope we bring a packet with us to Montreal to have there.
No,
we can all share in it. We'll all share it.
Not a chance. Not a chance. I've already looked at that shit. Dead cold in the face before. Hungry as fuck. No chance. I knew I wasn't dying, and I knew I'm out of there before I'm dying, and I wasn't eating it.
I just think it's hilarious that you'll put your hand into a random bucket of this stuff, yet someone wants to present you with like a nice filet mignon. You're like, no, thank you.
Well, filet mignon doesn't bother me. I don't think filet mignon bothers Geoff either. His anxieties don't circle around filet mignon.
But he's also not out here touting salt soup. as delicious.
No, but he has his other things he'll tout, and that's fine.
Yeah, like dinosaur nuggets.
I don't.
Nothing
I'm not
wrong with
even-
Dino Nuggets.
I'm not even that
If
big
you're
of the
if
chicken
you're 4
nugget
years
guy, but
old,
I like
I-
Dino Nuggets.
not
I
fucking
buy them
shocking. You're
sometimes.
basically some hybrid of a 95-year-old and a 4-year-old when it comes to eating. I'm not surprised you like the MREs because after you served in World War II, you're probably used to it.
It's just, God forbid I enjoy something.
You enjoy.
No,
I mean,
like, how dare I?
okay, so Tim gave a review of a restaurant the other day, Geoff, that we talked about this on the Sunday night show that he hated. He said it was the first time I've actively heard him call the food bad somewhere. Do you know what he gave it out of 10?
what?
8.
Well, it wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't inedible. I was fine. It just wasn't as good
It's
as
an
I
8 out
hoped.
of 10. You'd rate it 80%. So, like, is that the lowest possible grade that you give out? 80%? You think you think anything
I
you can
think the
shove into
McRib
your
a lower
fucking
score.
gullet is delicious?
Don't yell at me.
I'm still expecting you to be given a bit of a rude awakening when the food is like a solid. When it's like, we'll see. So shredded beef or cheese tortellini, whatever you're pulling out of there. We'll see.
You know how this turns out is that he goes to like a $200 whatever it is, like wine pairing and blind tasting menu. He's going to enjoy everything on it. Then he's going to start touting blind tasting menus to everyone. Have you ever heard of this thing? This is how it goes every time.
I don't know that that's going to happen this time. I see Jeff and I hitting up Duke's later on that night.
I mean, in fairness, you're probably going to do that anyway, whether you enjoy it or
Particularly since Jeff has a car, we have easy access to just get
that
out.
car, I'm putting it out there. I'm going to put it in the chat too. That car is like, it's there, but it's not. I don't want it. And we'll get groceries. We'll get ourselves settled.
I got you. I got you a parking pass to the actual event if you want to use it.
See, this is it's already beginning.
You don't have.
I don't want to drive.
You don't
the
have to
car.
drive then. Then don't. We'll take an Uber. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, but we'll see. And I'm not afraid of I trust everybody, but it's
I don't want to drive. I don't trust myself. I would rather be driven.
No one wants you to drive. You're incapable of driving anyone. And there's going to be traffic, and it's in Montreal. Actually, that'd be something to film, Jeff. Tim driving your car in Montreal. We can film your panic of seeing how Tim drives and Tim's panic of him driving.
yeah.
No.
And then I don't think Tim would like me being Tim wouldn't like how I'm reacting, and it would make him more uncomfortable, which would be bad for everyone.
Yeah, it'd be like the old episodes of The Odd Couple, where like they just can't they can't get along. And yet again, I'm going to have a complaint about something I may have mentioned in the past, which is that it's so inconvenient for people like me who want to make one sandwich not to be able to go to the grocery store and buy 2 slices of bread or buy 1 leaf of lettuce or like
1
2
leaf.
slices
What
of
would
tomato.
1 leaf of lettuce cost?
Like, I don't, you know what? I don't know. But here's the thing. I had to buy a thing of lettuce because I wanted to make a sandwich the other day. That lettuce is going to go to waste. There's no way I can eat all that lettuce. I had to buy a whole loaf of bread because I just wanted 2 slices. I had to buy a whole tomato when there's no way I needed that much. It really is an inconvenience to a lot of us. And it's one of the reasons I don't make like small, healthy lunches a lot for myself is because it is super inconvenient and wasteful for me to have to buy the stuff in bulk. I don't want to.
But you do it anyway. So why aren't you making the small meals? Because you could reuse the stuff over and over.
Yeah, but I
at
don't
that
like
point.
to eat. I don't want to eat the same sandwich 2 days in a row. I already had it.
So you're just eating
I
no more
sympathize
sandwiches.
for you.
It
I
goes
mean, like, I
bad
could
too
s-
quickly.
I could see how it can get wasteful if you're just like buying like a loaf of bread for one person before it goes
put in the
bad.
freezer.
Yeah, put it
in the freezer and then
freezer.
toast it, and
my
then
free-
toast
my
your
freezer-
bread.
You do it with
My-
cakes that no one wants. Why
I
wouldn't
was
you
like-
do it with bread that someone would want?
My freezer space is very full. With
You got
other
the cake
things.
in there.
Exactly. And other things.
You have sheet cake in there from 6 months ago.
And deep and I have multiple cakes in my freezer right now. I have that and I have deep and delicious in my freezer right now. I don't have space for all this stuff, okay?
Why don't you? I mean, even at the grocery store, it's probably not the best. We are next to a French bakery in the place that we're staying at. You can go and buy smaller loaves of bread from places like that, and then you can just cut the slices off yourself.
I'm not good at cutting slices of bread. I never do it evenly.
Well,
I
I'm
like it to
sorry,
be
man.
perfectly even.
The whole world is set up for convenience, and you've made everything inconvenient for yourself.
Well,
Like,
things
Tim,
are inconvenient.
The grocery store will have a bakery section. You can get like just a nice single Kaiser or something. Lovely sandwich bread.
I mean, I guess.
You
But
can
I
buy.
don't want that. I want a piece of regular
I can't
white
solve
bread.
your single.
You want a piece of
leaf
regular white
lettuce.
bread rather than having like a
Yeah.
nice piece of bread?
Yeah, I want
Like,
some Wonder
you know
Bread
what?
is what I
you
want.
know, and you can always just steal that single leaf of lettuce from a rabbit.
I would never. Yeah, a rabbit. Yeah, that. I want one solid green leaf lettuce leaf. That's what I want for my sandwich. Okay, that's what I want. And instead, I have to buy all kinds of green leaf lettuce, and it's just going to go to waste because I can't eat that much lettuce.
Everyone's asking the same question. If you just want a sandwich, don't you go to Subway?
Sometimes I want to make my own sandwiches
Why? It sounds like it's a lot of pressure to make your own sandwich when you love
because
Subway.
I get into moods where I want to cook something or I want to make something for myself.
You had like your 5-point plan to make Subway great again.
I look. There's a Subway. There's a lot needs to make some changes.
Hit
Because
us with it.
heading in the
Hit
wrong-
us with the 5-point plan.
The number one is it has to reduce its costs. It just has to. It's now way too expensive.
No, it has to reduce its menu.
That's part two. Once you reduce costs significantly, and you have to reduce the menu significantly. Go back to like the 6 or 7 staples. That's it. That's all people really want anyway.
I agree.
Bring
with
back the
I-
old wall. Yeah, go ahead. Bring back the old wallpaper.
I agree with you on the too many options at Subway, and I've ordered the same thing at Subway. Not that I go there often, but if I'm in a pinch, there's one close to the office, I'll be like, hey, this is a low-cal meal that I can go get.
I've seen you
ordered
eat
this.
it twice in the last 2 weeks.
And no
I've
one
not
is
eaten it twice in the last 2 weeks.
Yes,
I ate
I
it.
saw you eat it the night of the draft, and then I saw you eat it the other day at the house. So I've seen you eat it twice in the last 3 weeks. Then
No, you saw me eat it not before the draft. The last time we were in studio together earlier on before the trip, the golf trip. Because I didn't have it the
Oh,
night
I
of the
think it
draft.
was
I had
earlier
it
than
the
that, but
night
okay.
I came back last
You're-
weekend from Toronto.
that's yes, yeah, that was the second time. That's immaterial. The point is, it costs too much. Then we're used to the $5 footlongs. It doesn't have to be $5, but you can have $7 footlongs, and you can also so you have cheaper prices, fewer things on the menu. Bring back the old booths. Bring back the old wallpaper. Bring back Subway Club.
Okay, Subway Club, yes, you can get your Subway Club card, but you don't want to listen. I enjoy the Subway, New York Subway wallpaper as much as the next person in the old booths. But now, if you're trying to cut costs, that's just adding cost to every single store.
I just think people will want to come back if they see a Subway that looks like what they remember, rather than a Subway that looks white and stark and just it doesn't work.
Why don't you?
this might mean nothing to you, but no one is going to Subway when for like $1 more or the same price you can get Jersey Mike's or any of the like good sandwich shops all over America.
I don't know. There's a nostalgia factor that people will go to Subway if the price is right.
But
where's
that's
bringing-
exactly what Geoff is saying. That the price has to be right for it.
That was why it was my number one. That was
But-
my
but-
number one fix.
But it needs to be significantly cheaper than the other better sub places. Or why wouldn't you just go to those?
On that note, Cam was 100% always hated Jared before the revelations. Like he maybe just hated the look or that this guy was becoming a celebrity, but Cam detested Jared before the revelations. So he looked for credit for that last week, and I can vouch for it.
Okay, there's your Fogel update of the week. That's 2 weeks in a row on the Pat Mayo Experience.
Well, I'm sure Tim might have him bring him back as part of his 5-point plan.
No, I gave you the 5-point plan. It's
So-
a flawless plan.
But my point was, despite infrequently going to Subway, I always get the same thing. And it's never like
Of course, almost everybody does.
That's part of the, I guess, the Subway charm is that I know what I'm getting when I go there, and I know that it's quick. I know that they have it. They should also not toast any subs. That's ridiculous. Subway is the non-toasted place.
I like that there's an option, although I almost never go for the toasting. That's fine if people want to toast it.
You
Like,
know
I
what?
don't really
I
care.
go in, and the default is, Tim, to toast my sub, and that offends me because I don't like it toasted.
Well, I agree with you that it shouldn't be the default. The default should be having just a regular sandwich. Of course, there is a sixth point to my 5-point plan, which I haven't mentioned,
Oh.
but I actually think would actually be a huge factor.
Is it a
And
mascot
that's
like
the-
Grimace? But it's you?
No, it's actually. So back in the day, they used to cut a wedge out of the top of the sandwich
Oh my God.
and cut it that way. Going back to cutting the sandwich, what I would call the old way, would actually have a very positive effect because a lot of people who are eating on the go find that Subway subs, the stuff falls out of them in the car when you're eating. And the old way, it didn't fall out as much.
You have a big problem with spilling everything you eat on yourself, it sounds like.
Not just on myself, but on my table that Paul gave me or whatever. Just I don't like
Hold on. Have you ever actually used the table that Paul gave you?
I
Honestly.
use it and I use it in embarrassingly large amount.
But you didn't use it for the big arch, the thing that was the
That
most
was-
spilly of anything.
That was really stupid of me. But if I'm not exaggerating when I say I use it between 3 and 6 times a week.
It's a lot of eating in your car, man.
It's way too much.
Maybe you
But,
should
you
use
know,
some of that extra
proof.
bread from home and make yourself a turkey sandwich or something.
Well, but then I have to eat the same sandwich over and over.
You don't
know how-
have to eat the same sandwich over and over. You can make a club sandwich one day. You can make a turkey sandwich, a ham sandwich.
Ugh.
There's lots of different sandwiches you can make.
I just want the one sandwich.
So you only like one sandwich. What is the sandwich?
No,
that
I like
you
lots of I like lots of sandwiches, but I only want the one sandwich that one time, and then I've
Okay.
gotten the sandwich out of my system, and I don't want a sandwich again for a while.
All right. So you need this new idea for an app where you share. It's like a ride share, but it's a
for
grocery
food.
share with other single like people who are looking for ones.
I don't want someone else's bread that they would have handled.
Well, you, like,
what do you
divvy
want
up the
then?
fresh
You want them to go out of business? Okay, so what if they charge you the exact same amount for one slice as they did for the entire loaf? Because that's what they would
I
have
would
to
probably buy the one slice.
do. Okay, well, there's an
'Cause
idea
that way I
for
wouldn't
grocery
feel
chains.
wasteful. You know, if it's like 65 cents for 2 slices or $3 for a loaf, like I'll spend the 65 cents and buy the 2 slices.
Why don't you like? I guess because you said you like white bread. I guess I've answered that question. But like, why wouldn't you try like a white bread bagel or something like that? Because you don't have to buy as many of them and just make your sandwich
How much,
over that.
how much bread in the bagel? You know, I like
How about
to, like,
how about
throw
an
in the bagel.
English
I usually
muffin
throw
then?
the middle out of it out.
How about an English muffin?
You know, English muffins are really meant to have Egg McMuffins on. They're not really meant to make sandwiches with.
What?
The real purpose of an English muffin, in my mind, and I know it's technically not what everyone uses them for, but it's for an egg McMuffin. Like that's what 99% of the English muffins that I've ever purchased have been used to either make my own Egg McMuffins.
Really?
Toast it with jam or something.
I'm
for
a
that.
big English muffin guy. Like that's generally if I make a sandwich and like pack one for the office to have for lunch, I'll make a turkey sandwich out of an English muffin because it works out really well because it's smaller than your average.
Yeah.
If you're ever trying to cut calories, instead of having like 250 calories in between 2 pieces of bread, you have an English muffin that's like 125. You just cut it right in half. Portion control.
Tim, because
Yes.
you're so nervous for the trip, are you like having a going away meal for dinner tonight? Like, this
No,
thing-
I'm not. I actually have no appetite,
Oh my God.
to be perfectly frank with you.
Did you check your
body
email yet?
feels like the
I woke up this morning with absolutely no appetite, and it's actually been the worst day yet. So
Oh.
no, I'm not hungry.
Tim's fear of, is it the fear of flying or the fear of the trip? Because you fly fine.
Oh, flying doesn't bother me at all. I could sit on a plane and fly all day. That does not bother me. It's the least of my concerns.
I genuinely feel bad for you right now. Like you seem pained for this
I
excursion.
just don't like to travel. I'm anxious about a lot of things. This time next week it'll all be over.
Well, we'll have to get your recap on that. So Tim's appetite suppression, you can be like Tim and be anxious about going on a trip, or you can do cocaine for 3 straight days and have no appetite and end up with the same result, Jeff. Tim's on the other Hollywood diet right now.
I am no longer even though I'm laughing, I don't think I've seen the humor in Tim's predicament right now. Like I'm genuinely hear pain in his voice.
It's okay. You're there to comfort him through. We've already got his boarding pass checked off. So he doesn't have to deal with that. Paul has already assured him that he can check in with his phone to get into the place. You're bringing Diet Coke. People are going out of their way to make sure that Tim is comfortable.
And I do appreciate that, and I mean that.
And then you'll meet some people there, and they'll be like, "Cust, you're the best," and you'll feel great. You'll get all the credit.
Yeah, don't yell at me at the golf course if you see me, please. Like, don't yell at me. If you want to come up to me and say hi, that's fine. I that would be great, actually. But don't like yell at me from across the golf course. Like, I wouldn't care for that.
Have you had a problem with
like
people
Cam with
yelling
the-
at you?
This is what happened at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was a loud environment, though.
I suspect. Well, fair enough. But anyway, just don't yell at me, please.
This is like the comments that you had to get people to leave for Cam. Like, if you're going to see us this weekend, you have to put air in Tim's tires.
Yeah, please be nice to me, because I will not be in a great mental space. So please be kind to me. That's all I ask.
So if you see Tim, be kind to him. Okay, you can be as mean as you want to me and Geoff, but just be nice to Tim if you see him in person.
That's all I ask.
I don't care either way. Just say whatever the fuck you want to me. Geoff is a bit more sensitive than me, though, so maybe be nice to Geoff too.
No, in person.
Compliment Geoff on the clothing he's wearing. Tell him he made the right choice of what to bring.
Tell him he looks like an assistant coach for the Los Angeles Chargers and make his weekend.
Yeah.
I got like one like
Tell him that the low crown visor he bought for Team International looks really sporty.
No, but I am looking. Hey, never. But I am looking for a flat brim
Oh, you would.
international lid. Like
That could be worth something. I think the international team has a real chance of being shut out.
Shut out.
Shut out. I'm not even joking. I was thinking about this today. I think the U.S. team might win by the largest margin that anyone's ever won by in this
I
tournament.
mean, that's on the table, but think about
That's possible.
Think about match play in this way, Tim. I've played on our golf trip now for 3 years or 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years. I have yet to win any opening singles match, and I have won every single one of those matches.
Yeah, you're right. The international team could just fall backwards into 2 or 3 or 4 wins. But I think this might be close to a mathematical wrap come Saturday night.
Like, Geoff, for example, the first year I played, I won my match by 13 strokes, and we halved.
I'm starting to think Tim wants them to go up like 14-0, so they call the event or something.
He doesn't want to go on Sunday.
Well, yeah, I don't plan to go on Sunday. There's other things on the go for me, but in my mind anyway, what I'd like to do. But I just, I expect the United States to absolutely trounce them.
Yeah, they might. But I would look at it. I would just tell.
In fact, I would lay down a marker at this point and say the U.S. are as free of money as you could imagine, pretty much.
I tend to agree with Tim.
As I've said for years, and I'll regret not doing it, and I said it on our preview show that's already out on Mayo Media, that there is always, from a small house at home appliance to a renovation, like potentially available for you if you have the cojones on Team USA.
Well, particularly just it's in Canada. Like, how many internationals are really traveling to Canada versus how many Americans are going to travel to Canada? Like, it's not going to be like a European Ryder Cup or even the one in Australia. So.
Well, Geoff made this point on the preview show already. There's no way you would watch that already. It's funny that you guys came to the same conclusion, but being in Canada is a huge advantage for the U.S. players. They don't have to get out of their normal routine.
Jet lag, even. Like, they have a chance maybe when these guys go somewhere. You go to Asia, maybe they don't, make the same foods or so. I don't know, just the weirdest little things that can throw them off rhythm. It's like, I think the crowd, I disagree though. I think the crowd will be definitively you'll visually be able to see that it is very one-sided for international. Maybe I'm wrong. There'll be a lot of Americans, but no way they'll be more than 70-30.
Mayo experience. Experience.